This is Valley News Live at noon.
High winds closed the Fargo Sanitary Landfill today. The city says debris from trucks cannot be properly maintained during times of high winds and often blows away from the landfill. It's expected to reopen tomorrow. We're under a wind warning today, but the wind is expected to ease up a bit. Let's go straight to meteorologist Lisa Green with the first look at the weather. Lisa?
Well, good afternoon. Some good news here is that little by little from this point on, we start to see some improvements. We're not out of the woods yet, though. So first alert weather day continues today. We've got wintry weather. We've got windy conditions out there and still some snow coming down. This is our latest view on our radar. Southeastern parts of North Dakota, the focus now for that snow, though there are more scattered areas of snow north and east of us. So we won't be clearing things out, but notice the coverage isn't as widespread as it was even earlier this morning in spots. But we're looking down at Ellendale, Edgeley, Oaks. These are some areas that have had some off and on snow throughout the morning, and some of those places struggling again here with that snow coming down and the wind. Check this out. Jamestown, a 55-mile-per-hour gust now, and in Stutsman County we were up to 61 miles per hour yesterday, not far off it at the airport in Jamestown. 49 in Oaks, Fargo, a gust to 41 currently, and it's 48 in Grand Forks. So the wind still howling, especially on the North Dakota, South Dakota side here. Here's a look at the state line between the Dakotas at Dakota Magic Casino. That wind still going, and visibility is down because we're getting some snow in that area. Temperatures are remaining below freezing, and so where we do pick up that snow on untreated roadways, we're having to deal with some patches of slick spots, some slush going on here. Fargo's still at 32. It's 31 in Grand Forks, 28 in Bemidji, and getting some light snow reported there as well. So here's a look at our latest alerts. Our winter weather advisory has been canceled, and we are still in a high wind warning until 7 o'clock tonight for Foster County, Stutsman, Lemoore, and Dickey counties. Those of us in the lighter blue area, we've been downgraded to a wind advisory. We're still looking at gusts well into the 40s, but perhaps not as intense as what we've been seeing over the last couple of days. So some improvement going on there. And we're going to be talking about just how soon that wind will finally let go for us here in the valley, and when we'll see some sunshine return too, all coming up in just a couple of minutes.
Looking forward to it, Lisa. Thank you. Now let's get a look at how the roads are shaping up heading into the afternoon. Right now, shaded there in pink, Kidder, Stutsman, and Barnes County all under a travel alert because of blowing snow and those strong winds Lisa was just telling us about. The yellow sections of I-94 heading toward heading east towards Jamestown shows ice on the roadway, then transitioning into snow-covered roads heading into Valley City. And their blue headed toward Fargo is showing wet and slushy conditions. Now over in Minnesota, most of the travel impacts are in the northwest region of the state. Highway 10 from Fargo to Detroit Lakes shows pink. That's snow covered. I-94 and Highway 75 are showing blue or slushy conditions with this wet snow that's been falling pretty much all morning long. New for you at noon, Stanford Health and the University of North Dakota are facing a sexual harassment lawsuit. Court documents show Dr. Fiona Axelson alleges her program director for the family medicine residency sexually harassed her and multiple other female co-workers. Documents state that's when it was brought to the company's attention. Her claims were ignored. Court records show it started in July of 2020 when Dr. Jason Nemore started as the program director. Stanford Health released a statement to Valley News Live saying, we are, quote, "We are aware of the lawsuit filed by Dr. Axelson. We will defend this case vigorously," end quote. Also new at noon, an 83-year-old woman is dead following a crash in Cass County, Minnesota. The Minnesota State Patrol says 56-year-old Stephen Ertl was driving north on Highway 371 yesterday near Bacchus when he crossed into the other lane, hitting a car driven by 86-year-old Leo Alea. His passenger, an 83-year-old woman, died in that crash. Alea was taken to the hospital with life-threatening injuries. Ertl and his passenger were taken to the hospital but are expected to be okay. State Patrol says the roads were snowy and icy at the time of the crash. Ukrainian officials are urging residents in the eastern part of the country to leave now before Russia sends more troops their way. Troops have pulled out of the region around the capital, Kyiv, leaving behind the bodies of hundreds of civilians. This morning, the UN General Assembly voted on whether to suspend Russia from its Human Rights Council. A Ukrainian mayor estimates Russian troops have killed 5,000 civilians, and officials are warning that number could get much higher. Today, Ukraine is asking the G7 and NATO for more weapons to prevent further atrocities.
Either you help us now, and I'm speaking about days, not weeks, or your help will come too late.
Today, the Senate voted unanimously to revoke Russia's most favored nation trade status. That's an economic downgrade, allowing the United States to impose new tariffs on Russia over its invasion in Ukraine. The bill will now move to the House. The Senate is set to vote on Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson's confirmation to the Supreme Court today. A majority of Republican senators say they will oppose the confirmation, arguing she's soft on crime and they don't agree with her judicial philosophy. But at least 3 Republican senators say they will join Democrats in voting for Judge Jackson. She will replace the retiring Justice Stephen Breyer. Coming up at noon, we'll take a look at a new study that links unhealthy abdominal fat and how much sleep you get. But next, Lisa Green continues to track the storm that's bringing those strong wind gusts across the valley.